Hello and welcome to a new video. In today's video, we're gonna take a look at the double buffed Hypno. And I can tell you already, this Pokemon is so back now, which is really cool. I really like that this Pokemon has some play again. Now with, actually it's a triple buff if you really consider it, because it has all elemental punches, allowing this Pokemon to have great coverage against the current meta. For example, the Diggersby that wants to swap into this Ice Punch here definitely doesn't appreciate it. Otherwise, we're going to have a team here that is more inspired of like old school meta teams. There has been a time basically very early on in the meta, if you still remember this one, then you definitely know G4 PvP, where yeah, basically Hypno Double Dark was a very common team that you would see a lot of times. You have also Poison Double Dark as an alternative option for it. But yeah, that is definitely something that was very popular back in the day, usually with the Umbreon. That's why I brought it back here as well. We're running also Psychic on the Umbreon just to have a little bit of fun with this Pokemon. And usually that's Scrafty in the back. Scrafty got nerfed, of course, with Counter, but we have another Dark and Fighting type Pokemon that has a lot of play right now, which is Pangoro. In this first battle, we're going to be able to just fully farm them down because they kind of forfeit already by just not going for any charge move anymore. We easily would have won this battle anyway, and so we can move on to the next opponent. This team was lovely, and here, honestly, I should have not swapped out of here. I have a great matchup with my lead as well, but at the end of the day, maybe I should have, because as you're gonna see here, we're going to have the Wigglytuff, and this is also the main reason why you have as an alternative option, usually the Poison type in the lead, in order to beat those Charmers. Charmers are way less common currently, because I feel like there are less targets currently for this kind of Pokemon, but still, Wigglytuff has a lot of play. But luckily, even though we did not have the best moveset here, Last Resort would have definitely put them into range most anyway. We would have been able to knock them out with a move here. We were able to get them quite low enough that we should be able to go for the full farm down here with our Hypno. But it's still going to be a little bit of a tough one, as we will see here as well. Swift is coming through, we're going to be able to go for the full farm down, and we will see the Primeape in the back. And maybe one person here already knows that this is a team that I showcased on the channel very early on, which is kind of funny, but I was playing towards this scenario already throughout the entire game because I expected that this was the team that I was facing. But this doesn't mean that I'm going to be able to win here. But luckily, the opponent decides to let the move go through, making it way easier for me, and at this point, I will be able to win this battle because Starmie should not be able to get the full farm loan done in time. And so, we can go for the Thunder Punch and win the battle. If they used the shield there, I think it would have been a little bit closer. Next opponent, now let's see here, we're going to have the Dunsparce against us. In comes the Feraligatr. We can retaliate with our Umbreon. Umbreon, again, is a cool Pokemon, has some uniqueness towards it compared to, for example, Mandibuzz. I just don't really like Mandibuzz as a Safe-Swap. Main reason for this is that you're going to have the weakness against Dunsparce. And so, if you have already, like, I don't know, like, I really just see too many Dunsparce right now that I don't really want to run the Mandibuzz as a Safe-Swap, even though in the matchup itself is actually quite neutral, just because of the pure bulk of Mandibuzz and because the moves that Dunsparce have are non-step. But as you can see here, we're going to be able to still get some damage off against them. We would have still our fighter in the back, but what we decide to do here is we're actually going to let the move go through, and I expect that they're going to have basically just a weakness to my Pangoro in the back, and so I'm going to decide to let the move go through here. I will let another move go through as well, and I will swap out afterwards, and I should be able to get some nice energy lead for whatever they have in the back. Let's see if this is going to work out for us. It is going to be the Starmie, and this is going to be a good game again. As we will see here, the Starmie has no play against us. We just outspeed them, we do a ton of damage, and we even get the boost here, which is completely unnecessary. Makes it a bit easier to farm them down though. We would have been easily able to just fully farm them down anyway, so it doesn't matter at all. But at this point, it's just a little bit easier to win the battle. As you will see here as well, we can go for another charge move. They decide to use a shield, doesn't matter, we can go for another charge move. There's nothing the opponent can do here to win this battle. There's literally nothing that is left for them, and they decide to let the move go through as well. And so we can move on to the next opponent, and here we're going to talk a little bit about why our moveset is like this on the Hypno. Hypno has all elemental punches, has also access to the move Psyshock, but also to the move Shadow Ball. What this means is we have a lot of different kind of coverage, also Focus Blast, just to have the complete set there. But basically, recommended moveset currently is, I think, Thunder Punch and Fire Punch. But yeah, neither, like we only see the Thunder Punch on this moveset. Why they do this? Because there is definitely a big weakness towards Ice type damage in the current meta, and I kind of wanted to exploit this because of all of those ground type Pokemon around, and that's why we decided to go against the Fire Punch. But of course, Fire Punch would be great against the Sand Slash, and so we're going to have a matchup here where I decided to take a risk and go ahead and go for that close combat. It did not work out. If I went for the Night Slash, maybe I had a chance as well here. But at this point, we still have to go for a charge move. If I went for 2 Night Slashes, for example, I either could have got the boost on the first one, or I would have been able to put them into farming range for the second one, allowing me to do more damage than with my charge moves against the opponent later on. So I feel like this was also a winnable battle, but it did not really work out as well. By the way, there was one set as well with this team here, which you're gonna see as well. Every single battle, by the way, that I did with this team is going to be in this video, but I went actually 5-0 with this team, which you're mostly gonna see in the title as well, or something like this. You're gonna see it later on as well. I'm gonna claim the final set as well with this team here later on. But yeah, this team went 5-0 for me, which is kind of ridiculous, as Hypno is not really a better Pokemon. But I really like the early stages of the season so far. I think that the changes that happened to the meta as well are great changes. I would like to see like some more new moves maybe added next season, but I feel like for this season, I'm actually really happy with the changes. I know a lot of people are like, oh, basically nothing gonna change or whatever, but basically what you just do is you're gonna bring some Pokemon that are already good beforehand, like a little bit closer to the top meta while not making anything overpowered. And then like the few move updates in terms of getting like new moves on top of it, for example Starmie with Psywave and Surf, they're all very balanced. Like Bibarel is a very solid Pokemon, Starmie is a very solid Pokemon, Gliscor is a very solid Pokemon, but none of them are going to be completely meta defining, means that yeah, I think it is a great update. I really like the new season so far, and I think Niantic did a great job in order to make a small update, which they usually do at this time, which changes a little bit, but also just helps with putting things a bit closer and giving some Pokemon a little bit more play. And I think it's just a great thing, generally speaking. So happy with the season, definitely very happy with the season so far. And there's a lot more to come as well that I can showcase. I'm very excited for that as well. You definitely can stay tuned for a lot of good content. But as you can see as well, good content is also a close combat against the opponent's Pokemon here. And as you can see, the Cracks there, I think, still survives this one, just barely. So we are forced to swap out, but we can still go for another Ice Punch here as well. Thunder Punch would have also done the job, even though it was resisted. But it's going to be fine here. We're going to be able to win the battle and move on to the next opponent. Superior. And here again, by the way, for the Hypno, we have Ice Punch and Thunder Punch not only because of the meta itself, but also because it's going to give us the Bolt Beam coverage, which you usually have in the main series games as Thunderbolt and Ice Beam, the Electric and Ice type basically coverage there, which I talked about in several videos before and already, and why this is so strong. It's kind of similar to like Fighting and Ghost, where you have literally only one type combination that can resist both of the moves, which is the one from the Hisuian and Zoroark, which is not in Pokemon Go yet, of Normal and Ghost. But here you also only have one type combination that can resist both Ice as well as Electric, which is the Magnezone line, or like just generally speaking any kind of Steel and Electric type Pokemon, which is really good, which means basically that we always have some play with the charge moves that we have on the Hypno, which is very valuable as well for me. And against those Magnezone or whatever, we still have our fighting type in the back here with the Pangoro, and so I'm not too worried about not having Fire Punch. You don't need it for grass type Pokemon like the Superior, but here I make a huge mistake. You guys take a look at this game here as well. I did not know that they got apparently one extra fast move in the beginning, and so I did go one over this Night Slash, and this completely gonna change the battle for me. If I just went straight for the Night Slash when I got to up to 2, I would have most likely had a way easier time here. I would have definitely won the battle easily. Because I did not think that they have the Aerial Ace yet. I thought they needed one more fast move when I went for my charge move. So I would see P-Tie on the next turn. But yeah, we would have been able to just knock them out there with double Night Slash against them. And then we would have had also still enough time to get to a close combat against a Dunsparce. I would have not even ever needed to go back into my Hypno if I just played it correctly there. But I didn't, and that is a mistake by me. And well played by the opponent here. I sure won this battle. Misplay by me. And so we have, I think, 2 losses so far, and both of them were avoidable if I just played it better, which again showcases the potential of this team. Like, this team has a lot of play in the current meta. As you will see here, Clodsire is up against us. We're going to be able to go for an Ice Punch, and this is going to allow us to get the knockout. I did not expect the knockout here, by the way, but I guess this is where like the update definitely helps out quite a bit. Here we're going to see the opponent having a Mana Burst, and we can swap out into the Umbreon, just taking the hits. I hope that they swap out eventually. My real hope here is just that they swap out here, because we don't have Last Resort. We cannot hit them for any neutral damage, and they swap out into a Venusaur, allowing us to go for a Psychic. And we see already why this move doesn't really do too much for it. We should have maybe went for a Foul Play there as well. But Psychic is sadly just not really doing any damage. And so here at this point, I can just go for a foul play, could even overform by a little bit more, but I don't even know if this is going to knock them out. We're actually going to undercharge it just to get some more energy on the Hypno, because we know there's only the Mandibus left, so I can go for a big charge move here. And I should be kind of fine by winning this one with the Pangoro. That's at least what you would expect, but the issue is here, the opponent gets a ton of energy. They had 100 energy right now, making this way closer than you might expect. I was hoping at this point that I might be able to survive 2 aerial aces actually with my Pangoro, even though they're super effective. Aerial ace is a very bad move, the opponent doesn't really have a lot of attack. I should be kind of fine here hopefully, but we'll find out very shortly. As you're gonna see, the opponent goes for a charge move here. It is going to be that aerial ace, and it does more than 50%, so I'm forced to use a shield against all of them that are coming up next. And so it is definitely a bit of a trickier one, because they can even go for another one here. And so I hope they're completely out of energy, and I hope they can still knock them out with a close combat here. Is it going to be enough to knock them out? It is not, but it is luckily enough to go put them into farm on range, allowing us to win the battle. Talonflame or Talonflame. This matchup is actually quite an interesting one. You kind of really need some good fast move timing here. For the opponent, it's ideal to just go for 3 fast moves and go for a charge move, which exactly is what they're gonna do here. For us, it's ideal to wait out until then and just then go for 1 fast move and then a charge move, which kind of allows them to get the least amount of turns with their Incinerate in. Luckily, as you will see as well, the opponent let the move go through, and they're gonna swap out again into the Meganium against our Umbreon. This is like the big mistake from them a lot of times. They have great matchups with the Umbreon there, where they have like dark types against or whatever, where we're not going to be able to hit them with the moves that you have, but then they decide to just swap out of there and completely ruin their chance of winning the battle, which is kind of hilarious, but this happened way too often. And as you will see here, the opponent is going to be able to go for a Frenzy Plant, gets us kind of low. We're going to be able to let the move go through here as well. It is gonna be a Frenzy Plant coming through, and in comes the opponent's Umbreon again. At this point, we should be kind of fine here. I think I can even take 2 hits from the opponent. Last resort is not going to 2-shot us. The fast move is double resisted, means we don't have to worry about anything here, and we can just go for the back-to-back close combat, and this is going to be a very good game. The Umbreon has no chance of really surviving any of those close combats here. That's at least what I thought here. At least here we see as well, it's going to do some super effective nice stab damage, and it's going to be not enough to knock them out. I'm so confused that it's not enough to knock them out. It's stab from a hard-hitting Pokemon. It is one of the hardest hitting moves in the game, and it's not enough to knock them out. It is ridiculous, but at least you're going to be able to have a funny interaction here at the end, where you decide to use a shield against the foul play and knock out the Dark-type Pokemon with a Psychic-type Pokemon. Okay, second to last battle here, we're going to see the Morpeko. Morpeko is going to be a tough one for this team, not gonna lie, this Pokemon going to be a bit tricky. Would be not as tricky if we would have actually coverage here, but luckily they decided to swap out anyway into the Azumarill, which is not really ideal for us, but still we're going to be able to take it. Great catch from the opponent as well. They're just always kind of one step ahead, it feels like, so far, but at least we're going to be able to go for the Psychic, hope for the debuff here onto the opponent as well. Let's see if we're going to get it. We do not. But what we will see here next is that we can still reach another Psychic, and I don't know if I would have won CMP tie without the lag there, but there was some frame drops, and I wonder who has more bulk, Umbreon or Azumarill. I feel like they're very, very close to each other, so I kind of want to take a look at this real quick on the side as well, who would have won the CMP there if the lag actually impacted it at all. But let's find out here real quick. Azumarill has 91 attack and the Umbreon has 88 attack. Means Azumarill are always going to win this matchup. I didn't actually know this. I actually did not know that Umbreon is so bulky. It is bulkier than XL Azumarill. That is ridiculous. That's definitely also the reason why they never buffed like the charge moves for this Pokemon, because it would be just too overpowered. But yeah, Umbreon, one of the bulkiest Pokemon in the game, but I did not actually know that he was that bulky. Here we're going to have the Drifblim against us, and that's going to be okay. We're going to try our best here to go for those nice Night Sashes. We got the boost there, I think, as well, but we're gonna swap out here to catch the move, which is going to be way better for us. It's going to be the Icy Wind. They're gonna undercharge. It doesn't really matter too much, hopefully, but as you will see here, they're gonna go ahead and take that Ice Punch with a Morpeko, and unluckily, the opponent is going to be able to now fully farm us down thanks to the Thunder Shock buff this season, allowing them to go for more moves, and I should have let the move go through here. It is going to be the Psychic Fangs. They could knock me out if they go for the double resisted other move here now at this point. It's not Psychic Fangs, it's the Aura Wheel, of course. But they decided to go for another Psychic Fangs. And I was like, oh, I have a chance. No, I don't. They still can go for another Psychic Fangs. This Pokemon just charges too fast. It's ridiculous, and so we're sadly gonna lose this battle. So, Fire Battle here for today, we're going to encounter Greninja in the lead, and we actually stay in for a little bit, trying to get some energy, and then swap out onto the Night Slash into our Umbreon, allowing us to catch the move, basically making it completely ineffective. And you see already, if the opponents would have stayed in there, we would have been in big trouble, because they actually got the double boost with the Greninja's Night Slash, but now they're swapped out into the Gaston, which is fine by me. Like, our entire team is neutral against Gaston, it doesn't matter and which position this Pokemon is going to go up against. I feel like this actually might be the best position to have it, but we sadly also get the defense drop onto us, which can be a bit tricky, but also has some benefits. As you can see, the opponent going to go for a charge move here. It is going to be the Body Slam. I think they kind of maybe undercharge us here, trying to get more energy against us, but we're going to be able to align ourselves, and aligning can be quite important. As you see the Drifblim coming in, we decide to go ahead and go into the Pangoro now. I can go straight for the Night Slash, doing some super effective and stab damage as well here, but the opponent decides to use a shield instead. And we're gonna be able to catch the move. As I now kind of know, my Hypno is not really the main part for this team. I don't really need this Hypno in the current battle here. And I'm just gonna try to use my energy in order to push up a little bit here, that I might be able to just knock them out with just a one Night Slash instead of two, which would be very, very nice for us. And as you can see here, the opponent is gonna take that hit, and they're going to be able to fully farm us down, which is kind of annoying, because now we have to also use some shields, but not on the first one. The first one we're going to let go through, it's going to be the Icy Wind. In comes the Greninja. I did actually not know that we would lose the MP tie against Greninja, or something new that I learned here today. But what we see as well is one big boom, and afterwards we just have to go for one more charge move. And that's going to be it for this battle. As we will see here as well, Night Slash is coming through, we can still claim the rewards afterwards. But yeah, thanks so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed this one, I would really appreciate if you could leave a like to support the channel. But otherwise, if you want to also see your own battles on this channel, there's always a link in the description to send your own battles in. I would really appreciate it, and I will see you then. Bye bye.